When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Baker's, where you'll find over 30,000 mouth-watering choices that excite your inner foodie. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices, plus extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week. You can also save up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with fuel points. More savings and more inspiring flavors make shopping Baker's worth it every time. Baker's, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
We love spending this time with you. Thank you for listening. If you would like to take your listening experience to the next level, did you know there's a way to do that, Jabo?
I do.
Yep, you know how you do it. You go to thetjshow.com, you sign up for the TJ Show newsletter, and you get cool things dropped right into your inbox, like the TJ Show's 10 shares. We pick 10 different things, everyone on the team does it, that we think you're going to love. It's not just about our show. This is about like stuff, music we're listening to, whatever it may be.
Life stuff.
That's just the tip of the iceberg. There's a whole lot more in there. Sign up at thetjshow.com. This is the TJ Show. It's Wednesday. Our camera guy Josh was telling us in the office yesterday that he's thinking about getting a tattoo.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it would look cool.
I want you to talk to someone first before you decide. My grandpa is very passionate about the subject of tattoos.
Oh.
Pop, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Now, Pop, you're 94. You have a lot of wisdom, and you've talked to me many times about how I should not get a tattoo.
That's right. Josh, what's the purpose of getting it? What's is it a special event or what?
No, I just think it would look cool.
For how long?
That's a good question. I would hope it would look good forever, but I guess...
No, it doesn't work that way.
No?
Nope. It'll fade out and look like a black and blue mark once as time goes by. Have you seen these guys with that get their sleeves done from their wrist all the way up to their shoulder?
Right.
After a while, it looks absolutely horrible. It doesn't make. I can't even make out the images that have been tattooed on there. It's fun for a little while, but it's very unacceptable in a lot of places, especially if you're applying for a particular position at work or something like that.
Well, Pop, there's a tattoo. You have experience with this, right? Can you tell Josh what you did? It was back in the 50s, right?
No, 1948.
1948. How did...
A long time ago.
You can't make it out. I only have one on my forearm. I have my mom and dad's name imprinted in it with a banner. And when I showed it to my father after I got out of service, he says, "What'd you do that for?" I said, I put your name and mom and dad on it. He said, "What'd you do that for? You don't have to do that. Mark up your body to tell me that you love me." Yeah, I'm kind of anti-tattoo, but everybody does what they want to do, you know?
Yeah, I know. Well, and Josh is going to do whatever he wants to do, right? And I remember when I was a kid, I would see that tattoo, and I could never figure out what it was. And you told me what it was, and I was like, yeah, I still don't see the bird and the nest. And, you know, you hammered it into my head, never get a tattoo, and I still haven't.
I'm glad you didn't.
You know, it's funny because my mother-in-law keeps telling me not to get a tattoo. She's on your team. She says I'm far too good-looking to get a tattoo.
There you go. You got it. Mm-hmm. Well, anyway, good luck for whatever you do.
At the end of the day, Pops is like, I don't care. This is advice. Take it or leave it. You know?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's great. How's everything going today, Pop?
Pretty good. Not bad.
Oh, great.
Yeah, everything's good.
Can you share with Jabo the last big score you had at the grocery store? It was with the pickles?
Oh, no. That didn't work out very well. You know, when I brought it home, it was so vinegary that we couldn't eat it. It was inedible.
Yeah, that's why it was 25 cents.
That was at that one of those stores. I don't want to mention the name. But, anyway.
Why would you want to send someone to get the sort of rotten pickles? I mean, they were only 25 cents, but if you can't eat them, what good are they?
Well, absolutely. You're right.
All right.
It wasn't the bargain.
Yeah, it wasn't the bargain we thought it was. Yes, Kenny?
No.
Hey, Josh, I just found a good discount on tattoos, in case you want to know.
Oh, okay.
Buy one, get one. I'll go with you.
No.
Hey, Jabo, you going to get a tattoo?
Oh, yeah, I may add to the crew. I have a couple on me already.
Oh, okay. So everything I said didn't go anywhere.
I mean, it's a little too late for me, but Josh still has time.
It was before she knew you. Pop,
right, okay.
Thanks for popping on the radio with us, and I'll talk to you really soon.
Oh, yeah. Hey, your mom told me she had a great experience this weekend with the kids.
Yeah,
she had a good time.
Yep, it was Willa's 6th birthday. She was jumping into the pool and everything.
Yeah. Okay, all right. I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, but I need you to have the tattoo conversation with her when she gets a little older, too, okay?
Oh, without a doubt.
Okay, great. All right. Love you,
Bye-bye.
Pop.
Love you,
Bye.
Pop.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
yesterday at this time, we heard Kenny on his very tough adventure. He just moved in with his girlfriend, and his girlfriend's cat just hates him. I don't know how else to put it. It's a strong word, but how else do you describe what he's going through?
It's true.
He's been trying to win it over desperately. When they lived apart, forget about it. You didn't even see what the cat looked like.
Hardly.
Now you live in the same place. The cat runs under the bed every time Kenny comes home. And we heard yesterday he was trying to win it over once again because you're all alone with the cat.
Yeah, my girlfriend's away for a couple of days.
Here's how it went.
It's just me and you for a couple of days, okay?
Now, that response, if you know cats, is not a cat that likes Kenny.
It's a dagger, a hiss dagger.
J-Bo, you've got a cat named Apollo. That's a happy cat right
he's
there.
He's a sweet boy. He likes everybody.
Well, we got a voice message from a cat expert, Kenny, so here we go. I'm going to play you some advice, okay?
Hi, this is Casey. I'm calling from Liberty, New York.
Thank you, Casey, by the way, for calling.
I'm listening to you guys talk about cats. I have 6 cats.
6 of them. So she knows what to do.
She's an expert.
And cats can be very finicky, and they'll come to you when they want. They have to learn to trust you.
Oh, so the cat doesn't trust Kenny. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That makes sense. I mean, it was a stray cat.
Oh, well, that makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah, it's got a lot of reason to be guarded.
It has some history.
Got to be patient with them. Doesn't matter if it's a year, could be 5 years.
Okay, so get ready. It might be 5 years.
Okay.
5 years of hissing.
Yeah, you're 1+ in, so you're getting there.
Cats will come to you when they're ready to. Don't try and force the cat because you're just going to make it not like you.
Okay, well, you're doing the wrong thing because you are trying to force it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, it's not like I'm trying to force pick it up or anything like that. I'm just giving it treats every day.
Okay.
Well, good luck. Okay, goodbye.
So yesterday when I got home from work, I did the usual thing, refilling its food and water and giving it some treats. It hissed at me again. Mm-hmm. But last night, or I should say this morning, when I woke up ahead of my alarm clock, I opened my eyes, and who do I see at the foot of the bed but baby girl the cat? She was sleeping with me last night.
Get out of here.
Yeah. So
seriously?
It's a huge step in the right direction. Now, I moved an inch, and it jumped right off the bed and went back underneath it, but that's never happened before, especially without my girlfriend there.
Baby girl had to abort the mission. She wasn't sleeping with you. She was plotting to attack. She's like, he's awake, abort mission!
No. It's possible and likely, but let's go with the cat is warming up to Kenny because I think that's more encouraging, and that's what Kenny needs right now.
That's what he needs to hear.
Now, the thing is, my girlfriend's coming home today. I'm actually thinking about telling her to stay away another 24 hours because I think maybe tonight would be the night where we really break some ground.
Oh, well, that's dedication.
I don't know. I'd rather see my girlfriend, so come home, Allison, please.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Kenny, we're rooting for you.
Thank you.
We really want you to win with this fur ball.
It's going to happen, and I'll be reporting it here first.
It's beautiful. And thank you for calling us, Casey, at 302-303-1151, just like Casey did. You could join in if we're not in the studio for some reason. You leave a voicemail, or if you call, oftentimes we just pick up and say hi, and then look at that, you're on the radio. The internet's constantly tricking me. I see these amazing stories. I'm like, whoa, that's awesome. And then I realize I never saw it the first time a year ago.
Yeah, that happens to me too.
But the internet just recycles and recycles over and over again, which is fine. I'm glad I know about this now. I hadn't heard that Morgan Freeman, the actor that we all love so much, he really cares about the bees, as we should all care about the bees. You know, I'm a massive fan of bees and honey and what they do for our planet.
I didn't realize bees were so important until I saw a video on TikTok and it said, if the bees go, we go.
Right.
And I thought, ooh, I should care about the bees.
It's in our best interest to care about the bees. And you've even heard here, I have beekeeper friends, I've interviewed them. Mm-hmm. I have had the privilege of being able to go and get honey out of beehives, and I've seen them up close. It is so miraculous what they do. They're just like designed to work, and they just want to do their job really well. And it's so cool. I was so inspired when I went out to my friend's beehive. And so anyway, Morgan Freeman bought over 100 acres in Mississippi and dedicating the land to repopulating the bees and bringing them back. And I'm like, man, that is so cool. Growing lavender and all these different plants and flowers that the bees love, making sure that they're fed. I just think that's so beautiful. I love just an area of land, no wires, no telephone poles, just let's get the bees back in action.
Well, after he learned that a lot of the bees are being harmed by pesticides, he's like, wait a minute, I have to help play a role in restoring the lives of these bees. And he has this land that you mentioned, over 100 acres in Mississippi, and he's hired people to plant all these things, magnolias and lavenders, and he feeds them sugar water, and he just wants to be a source so when the bees lose focus, they know to come back home and they can feed there and continue to grow.
You ever go down a pesticide wormhole on the internet?
No.
Oh, you should. Yeah, you want to get really
Never
freaked
thought
out?
to.
You freaked out enough yet?
No,
Okay,
I don't want to be freaked out.
You want a little more? Kenny, you want to get freaked out?
Yeah, please.
Start looking up pesticides and the stuff that you're referring to there. There's some really creepy stuff going on, not everywhere, but in a lot of places where land is being treated with these pesticides and then it becomes dependent on a certain provider to get certain kinds of seeds to be able to grow. Doesn't seem like the natural way of things in the way that they should be going and the way that they've been done forever.
So it sounds like you're saying the pesticides is affecting the land so much that and now it's kind of changed its makeup in a way.
Almost becomes sterile unless you have a certain kind of seed that a certain company provides.
I don't like that.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's very important that we take care of nature and these bees, and I just love them so much. Which brings me to my next point. Guys, you want to save the planet? Will you come with me to get some honey from some local beehives?
I would be down for that.
Yeah. You okay with getting a sting or two?
Oh, no, I'm not down for
You're
that.
going to have to if you want to save the planet and you want to see what the bees do.
I'll wait in the car, and I'll just wait for you to bring me some honey.
You know what? So I have a friend, and this guy is such a farmer dude that he just knows how to do everything with nature. And so I hear he has beehives, and I'm like, hey, can I come and watch you guys? And really all I wanted was a free jar of honey. But he said, sure. So I go on Amazon, and I order a beekeeper suit. And I show up in a full beekeeper suit from head to toe.
I'm weak.
And no one else is wearing a beekeeper suit. They're all just wearing short sleeve shirts. And they looked at me and did a double take, and they're so nice that they didn't make fun of me. But if it was my friends and they saw me in that, they would have probably knocked me out and stepped on me.
I'm laughing at you right now. I would have made fun of you.
They're so kind. I mean, imagine this. They didn't even crack a smile. They said, wow, nice suit. And I was like, whoa, these guys are so gracious and kind.
Get out.
And so we went through all the beehives, but I was thinking maybe we could film it. Camera guy Josh, would you bring your camera out there?
Yeah, I'm down for that.
All right,
That'd be cool.
Let's get some bee stuff on tape. I think that would be awesome. It would be so fun. You guys would love it. So we'll work on this.
I can't wait to watch the video.
This is the TJ Show. The TJ Show is sponsored by Prize Picks. You want to play daily fantasy sports and it just seems so complicated? Well, what about Prize Picks for daily fantasy sports?
Prize Picks is cool because it's just you picking against stat projections, more or less on 2 to 6 players' stats. Everything from basketball finals, keep an eye out for star players, for boosted payouts, and you can even use esports to add to your entries now.
Yeah, every Wednesday and Saturday in June, if your esport lineup doesn't win, you'll get your entry fee back. Quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, and an enormous selection of players and stat types are what makes Prize Picks the #1 fantasy sports app. PrizePicks.com. Download the app today and use code TJShow for a first deposit match up to $100. That's code TJShow on Prize Picks for a deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. Must be present in certain states. Visit PrizePicks.com for restrictions and details. PrizePicks.com. Have I said it enough?
PrizePicks.com.
You got me. This edition of the TJ Show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Yeah, the year is going by quite quickly.
Bro, I blinked and it's gone.
Halfway there. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it's hard to take inventory on how we're doing. Yeah. And I think one of the ways to truly assess our progress is by talking to someone else about it. Therapists have made me realize, actually, maybe I'm further along than I think. Because our mind can play tricks on us.
That's right.
And we've got to talk through this kind of a thing. Whether you're celebrating big wins, small wins, whatever it is, knowing that you're winning or if you're not, how to change that is so valuable.
A win is a win, and therapy is a win.
I agree with you. If you've ever considered it, go to BetterHelp.com/TJ. That's BetterHelp.com/TJ. You fill out the questionnaire, you get linked up with a licensed therapist. If for some reason it's not a fit, you can switch therapists anytime, no additional fee. Take a moment, visit BetterHelp.com/TJ today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/TJ. BetterHelp.com/TJ. This is the TJ Show. Earlier we were talking about a story about the bees. You know, I love bees, have a lot of affection, as we all should. I mean, we need bees.
You're very passionate about them.
Yeah. I mean, you don't want to know what's going to happen to the planet if the bees go away. So there are people who are trying to do things to rescue bees and get them to multiply even more, and they're giving them land so they can just do their bee thing. And one of my friends is a beekeeper And he does like a million things, but bees is just one of the many things he does on this little farm that he has. Shane, are you there?
I'm here.
Hey, so you were very kind a long time ago. I asked if I could come hang out with you and your bees when you were pulling the honey out of the bees' nests or whatever they call them. And I showed up in a full beekeeper suit. And no one else was wearing a beekeeper suit. I went on Amazon, I ordered it and everything. And you guys didn't make fun of me. And I knew that you were very nice people when that happened. So I can't thank you enough for that. I don't think I ever officially thanked you for that.
Well, I never want to make fun of somebody for being like overdressed for a party.
Right. It's like, it was kind of like wearing a
kind.
suit when no one else wears a suit. You ever have that happen to you, Kenny?
I remember wearing a shirt with lemons on it, and you guys gave it to me pretty good.
Because you look like a lemon tree.
Yeah, well, that's true. So, Shane, we're not as kind as you are. Our producer, Kenny, decided to like be a fashionista one day, and he wore a shirt with a bunch of lemons on it. It looked like he was a casino dealer. And I think what Jabo immediately said was, if you go in a garden, you'll start growing.
Yeah. When he walked in the room, I said, "Are you going on a cruise? Because what are you wearing?"
Yeah, so we need to be as nice as you are, and it's always a work in progress. But anyway, the reason why I wanted to reach out to you, because we do care about the bees, and we want to talk about bees more, but I thought it'd be really cool, and I don't want to like invite myself over, but do you think I could take our crew over to your farm, and could we see you do your bee thing and like film it?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, see?
I'm
so
excited.
There's one problem. So Jabo is afraid that she's going to get stung. And I said, almost certainly you'll probably get stung. And is that true? Do you usually get stung every time you go through the honey?
Well, I would say we very rarely get stung, and you don't have to be afraid of getting stung. Some people get stung on purpose as a medicine.
What?
No, yeah,
the
I'm
bee
not doing
venom is
that,
actually
Shane.
good for you. But,
What?
There's a very low chance of you getting stung.
Wait, Shane, how did you find out that the venom's good for you? Venom is usually not... What is that?
Sorry, the
The
rooster is
rooster
kicking in
co-signed
here.
it.
Wait, so your theory is that when you get bee venom in you, that's actually good for you?
This is something I have heard. I know one of our neighbors actually buys honeybees to sting him, and he says it helps his arthritis. And another friend has symptoms from Lyme disease, and she gets stings, and she says it helps with that too. So some things that hurt help.
It's kind of like acupuncture.
Yeah, they actually sting you on the acupuncture points along the meridians, like on your back.
Okay.
And they say that helps.
So these are Shane's friends, and it seems to be working for them. You know, I don't know if I would try that. And
I would not.
I do remember, though, when we were doing the honey thing, a bee stung you, and you smacked it. And then you almost held like a little funeral service for it, and you were serious. Like you felt sad. I could see in your face you were actually sad that you smacked the bee.
It's always a sad thing because if they sting you, they're going to die, and they're just protecting their life, which I would do if someone ripped my roof off.
Yeah, and I've never seen anyone mourn a bee until that moment with you, and I was like, yeah, glad you got him. And then I had to like hold that back.
You're supposed to have a moment of silence in that moment,
Yeah,
TJ.
seriously. No, I know. Anyway, Shane, this is great news. So we're going to set this up, and you let me know when you're ready, and we're going to come over in full force, and maybe Jabo. She's hasn't fully RSVP'd yet.
Yeah, Shane, I will greet you from my vehicle with my windows up. But I'm looking forward to the video, though, once you guys figure that out. That'd be awesome.
Hey, chicken, stop
could also,
interrupting
like-
Jabo.
He pretty much just called me a chicken. The chicken's like, she's a chicken. That's what he just did.
We love you,
Well,
Shane.
if you'd like to come, you could come sit like inside and look out a window. You're welcome in whatever way you feel comfortable, and I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome.
All
There he
right.
is. Shane, we'll look forward to seeing you soon.
All right. See
Bye,
ya.
chicken.
And the rooster!
Thank you, Shane.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Heather,
Yeah.
gotta tell you, I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Very well done.
Heather's so amped.
When I first
What
met
is
Heather,
going on?
anytime she had any issue with her husband, you would almost never talk to him about it.
Oh no.
Just keep it all bottled up, and he was the same way, right?
Yeah, we were. Yeah, that's why we work so well together.
They just stare at each other.
That's it,
long
in
car
silence.
rides. You don't want to talk on long car rides. You just look at the road.
Yeah, maybe do other things, but I won't get into that.
Now, not only are you talking to your husband about the things that are maybe pushing you one way or another, or making you feel a little weird, now you're recording it so we can hear it. And,
Exactly.
and
Oh,
I
this is
appreciate that.
fun.
I appreciate that. So what is the latest thing that you're sort of upset about? And I think this is an interesting debate that you're bringing up here.
Well, I don't know if I'm upset, but he tends to use cold water when he washes dishes, and I always use hot or warm water because that's the right way to wash dishes, right?
Right, yeah, for me,
So
I've always
we're constantly fighting like with the faucet, like hot and cold.
Yeah, well, what is his theory on cold water? Because I've always used warm water and the dishwasher is always hot. And my thought was it kills the germs.
Right? That's what I thought too.
What does he say?
Well, I interviewed him about it.
Good, maybe we'll learn something.
Let's
here.
go.
Dude, what's your problem?
What do you mean, what's my problem?
That's a great way to approach someone, by the way. You just walk up to him and go, "What's your problem?"
I would be defensive automatically.
How come when you wash dishes, you use cold water?
What difference does it make?
You should use hot water when you wash dishes, or at least warm water.
Why?
The dishes aren't really getting clean if you're using cold water. You need to kill.
What do you mean they're not getting
You
clean?
need to kill all the germs with the hot water.
You use soap.
Yeah, I use soap too. Sure.
So then why are you using hot water?
Because you still need hot water.
You're wasting water.
How's that wasting water?
Because
still
you're
using
waiting
water.
for the water to warm up, aren't you?
No, I start washing the dishes, but then
Well, he cares that much about water that he doesn't want to waste that little bit that's cool at first.
He loves the environment. He really does.
I think that's good. That's admirable too. Now I'm having a hard time with this one.
well, the only reason it's
So
not
you're telling me you start cold and wait for it to warm up?
the only reason.
So then why not just wash them cold? Huh?
Can you let me talk? The only reason it starts cold is because we're constantly fighting. You're putting it down to cold, and I'm putting it up to hot.
No, when you shut the water off, it automatically goes back to cold.
No, if you have it up at hot, it's still.
Wow, he's really making me think about plumbing. You're right. If you turn off hot water and you wait a little while, then eventually that water gets cold, right?
I think that's not true.
Well, sure it is. Try it.
When you shut the water off, it automatically goes back to cold.
No, if you have it up at hot, it's still hot.
No, it's not.
I'm almost positive.
It's not.
I think you're wrong, but
You're wrong.
anyway, hot water's right, or warm water.
No, it's not.
Either one.
You know, it's nice to hear that in this nation, people are divided about things that really aren't hurting anyone.
Yeah, Lewis isn't wrong. The water does get like cold again, even though you used hot water. However, I use hot water because it helps take food off plates easier. It takes grease off plates better. So that's why I use hot water.
You're wrong. Cold water is
When
right.
you wash your hands after you use the bathroom.
Cold water.
Oh my god! How are you getting all the germs off? You need the warm
I use
water.
soap.
The soap is what takes the germs off, right?
I'm not a doctor. I don't know.
You realize the water doesn't come out hot enough to kill germs, right? It's got to be boiling for that to happen.
Cool.
Glad we had that chat.
Yeah.
Glad we could clear that up.
Yeah, me too.
While you're at it, we can also use cold water for the laundry because it's the same thing and it saves money.
Oh, that's a whole other debate. Yeah, I tend to use cold water because I don't want to run the water heater down because I want to leave enough for the shower.
Cool.
Heather does not care. You're on Lewis's side, and she's not happy
All right.
about that.
So it looks like we're landing in the same exact place that we started,
Nothing's
but
been resolved.
it was a good effort. Glad you brought it up with him.
The only thing is, before I met all of you guys, we would just have went to bed, and none of this would have happened. So I blame you guys.
It's our
for this
fault.
Fight.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things to do is every once in a while we'll go out to a cafe and I get to hang with J-Bo and Kenny and Heather. We all get to talk and grab a bite to eat. This place is amazing. They've got the best customer service. And in the midst of this peaceful time, I get a phone call from my wife, Jess. And I go, oh boy, because it's pretty rare she'll call me at that time of day. So my feeling is something might be wrong. So I say, guys, can you hold on 1 second? And I pick up the phone and she goes, you have no idea how the kids are acting today.
That's bad when it's the first thing she says.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, got a pretty good idea now. And she tells me that it's been a grumpy pants kind of day. And so I said, well, I'm really sorry. I can't do anything about it from here. You heard me. I mean, how did you rate my performance? You overheard my side of the call.
Honestly, I was trying not to listen to what you were saying.
That's so nice of you.
I was trying to give you some respect because you were still at the table. But I do love how when your wife Jess does call, you excuse yourself and you pick up the phone and you don't disregard it. So I love that. But I was trying not to listen.
Well, producer Heather, I know for sure, is nosy.
Oh yeah, I'm a nosy Rosie. I was listening for sure. I thought you did okay. I thought you were Captain Dad at that point. Yeah.
All right, great.
Captain Dad.
I knew she'd be listening.
Get
Anyway.
you a hat. This is Captain Dad.
So we hang up the phone, and for some reason, I like Kenny. He's a very nice guy, but for some reason, my kids love Kenny.
Yeah,
because
they love him.
He's sort of like an overgrown kid, right? Would you say?
He's
No,
a man-child.
I'm fun, TJ.
You're fun, but you're still kind of a kid, right? Don't you feel like a kid?
Well, I don't think I should take myself too seriously, and if that is being a kid, then sure, I'll say that.
Like Kenny doesn't want to fully grow up, so the kids love that because they can relate to him better than most adults.
I'm a responsible adult, though. I have a job. I pay taxes.
What does
I have
that,
a
that doesn't make
girlfriend.
him responsible?
But what I'm saying is,
Pay my rent.
because I know that the kids love Kenny, I said, hey, Kenny, can you help a brother out here? Can you record a message disciplining them so that they know, hey, Kenny doesn't even think this is cool. And if Kenny doesn't think it's cool, then maybe you should start behaving.
Right.
And this is what happened when I started recording Kenny. Listen to this. This is in a public place, in a coffee shop.
All right, guys, be sure to be quiet.
Now, he starts screaming at the top of his lungs in this coffee shop where people are just enjoying their meals and drinking their coffee.
In this very moment, I went completely black. I started to see black. I zoned out. I couldn't hear anything at all.
Wait, don't do that so loud. We're in a public place.
Well, I can't send a message to your kids without being really loud and obnoxious.
All right, just, seriously. He sounds like he's at an old-time circus before they invented
Yes.
microphones and you had to really project. This is in a coffee shop.
Yes.
We were humiliated.
All right, kids.
So now he starts trying to be serious. This is Kenny serious.
All right, look in my eyes. This is me being very serious right now.
Are you disappointed in the way they're acting? You're Kenny.
No, but I feel bad for your mama, so I want you to behave, okay? You know, there's a time and a place for everything. And right now is not the time to be misbehaving.
I love how he lectures how there's a time and a place for everything, but he was just yelling in a
Right.
coffee shop.
At the wrong time and the wrong
Wrong
place.
place.
There's a time.
He's choking because he's talking with his mouth full.
There's a time for shenanigans, and there's a time to be on your best behavior. And I think now is a time that you want to be on your best behavior and just look forward to the shenanigans in the future.
Okay, so that's from one of your favorite people telling you to please settle down for Mama. So I get home and I say, hey, Jess, how did the video go over? And she was like, I wouldn't show that to the kids. He said it wasn't a big deal that they're misbehaving. So she didn't even show it to the kids. And eventually, with time, they did settle down. But I appreciate you being there for me, Kenny.
Yeah, I don't know what you want from me. I mean, I'm trying.
Do better,
you know?
Kenny. That's what he
Okay.
wants. Do better.
This is the TJ Show. There's more on the way.
What's good, everybody? It's Gerard Hector, the host and executive producer of the True Hoop Podcast. You guys can catch me and the godfather of basketball player development, Coach David Thorpe, every Monday and Thursday talking all things NBA.
It starts with Shea. Jalen Williamson, terrific. And a great coach. It starts with Shea. He's carrying a team. He's Michael Jordan right now.
Search for the True Hoop Podcast on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Rate, review, subscribe. Catch us every Monday and Thursday. Take care.
This is the TJ Show, our news. It sounds different around here. Kenny reads through every story he can find, and then he brings us the most interesting ones. Kenny, what's happening on the planet today?
Almost 70 ice cream products that were sold nationwide are being recalled over concerns that they may be contaminated with listeria.
Not the ice cream, man.
Yeah.
Take down the lettuce and the tomatoes, but not the ice cream.
That's a great point. We can go without salad, but ice cream? Come on now.
Yeah. The ice cream products were made by Totally Cool Inc. They include several well-known brand names like Friendly's and Hershey's brand ice cream cakes. The company stopped production and distribution after routine testing discovered the contamination. The company does say the investigation is ongoing and that they are taking preventative actions. Good to report that no illnesses have been connected to this recall, but you can find a full list at FDA.gov. Consumers who have the product are urged to return it.
My scientific breakdown on it is this, and I'm just going to tell you this is probably wrong, but because it's frozen, right? The listeria is frozen, and then you eat it, and then before it can thaw out and hurt you, it just goes through your body and it's not a problem anymore. Is that why no one got sick?
Maybe they caught it in time.
Okay.
Again, they have these testing procedures in place, and the company's saying this is a preventative measure that they're taking. So,
You have any friends that like try to sound smart and
Yeah.
then they come up with something like that?
Yeah, I have a friend. His name is TJ. Totally cool ice cream. This is totally not cool.
I'm gonna check that.
not sure your theory's totally off base, but I just don't know if that's the
Stop
case.
co-signing his foolery. God.
By the time it gets mid-throat, it's got to warm up, right? I just figured that one out on my own. Kenny, what else you have?
Speaking of warming up, it's awfully warm in pretty much all parts of the country, even overseas in England. The BBC has posted an article about how to sleep in hot temperatures. They're giving some tips.
Oh, how do you do it? Yeah, I had my AC out. I was telling you over the weekend, it was so hot where we are, and our AC just stopped working. Overworked. as the technician said. So what do we do if we're in that situation?
Well, one thing, they say hot weather can make you feel lethargic during the day because your body uses more energy. So don't nap, as it could disturb your nighttime sleep. If a daytime nap is something you usually do, it's something you might consider avoiding when it's extremely hot out.
Yeah, we need to suffer in the heat that's in our house. No passing out.
Keep to your routines. Hot weather can make you want to change your habits, which can disturb your sleep. So keep to your usual bedtime and routines. If you don't have air conditioning, try to keep your home as cool as possible. Close curtains to keep the sun out. Close windows on the sunny side of the house to keep the hot air out. And open windows before you go to bed to get a nice through breeze.
Thankfully, my AC is currently working, and I do that anyway. I keep my blinds closed. I keep my curtains closed because I don't want my unit to work harder.
Yeah.
And I don't want my bill to go up, honestly.
Oh, yeah. No, you're saving big bucks by doing that. My dad has worked with windows almost his whole life, and he tells me all the time, why don't you have curtains up? And I'm like, I don't know. It looks nicer without them.
I mean, it does, for sure. Let's light it. I love that natural light, but when I get that light bill, I'm like, ooh.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the electricity company has a laugh.
Yeah,
with
they
my
do.
bill.
They
But-
send all their family members to college.
So we've compromised. We put up some curtains in the sunny windows.
There you go.
They do say use thinner sheets or reduce your bedding overall. This one I've never heard before. Cool your socks. They suggest putting your socks in the refrigerator.
What a great idea.
As cooling your feet lowers the overall body temperature of your skin.
Now, TJ has shared that his wife Jess loves to sleep in a very cold room, and sometimes you have to wear like a winter jacket.
Oh, yeah.
Tell her to turn the fan off and cool her socks. This way, she's just cool.
That's a great
But
idea.
your wife can, chill her socks.
I'm going to pass the message along. Kenny, what else do you have?
If you missed this, we're learning the story of runner Kendall Ellis at the U.S. Olympic track trials over the weekend. Now, she ended up winning the 400-meter national championship and qualified for the Olympics, but she almost never made it to her semifinal race.
Yeah, I haven't been up on the latest in track running, so I did miss it. Please fill me in.
So less than an hour before the semifinal, while she should have been stretching and preparing for the race, she found herself trapped inside a porta potty, banging on the door, screaming for someone to let her out. She was trapped.
How does that happen?
And of all places, a porta potty. Oh my goodness.
What was it? Did somebody lock it from the outside?
There's no explanation as to why the porta potty door was stuck.
There was a kid I went to high school with. This guy, total bully. And my friend Phil went into a porta potty. It was on like a field trip. And this bully kid starts rocking the porta potty back and forth. And my friend Phil's like, hey, stop it. And he was screaming. I actually felt bad for him. Like, you
didn't do anything about it, though, as his friend?
We were like, hey, come on, guy. What are you doing? And
Okay.
my
Making
friend
sure.
Lou, who was the strongest of us all, although he was hysterically laughing to a point where tears were streaming down his face, he said, stop, don't do that. And then that stopped the bully.
Good.
The bully listened to Lou.
Good. You got to stand up for your friends, man.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
You don't do that. You don't mess with people's food, and you don't mess with them while they're in the bathroom. That's a sacred place.
Right. You don't do both together either.
Yeah.
It's another
And you
rule.
don't mess with people's money. Those three right there. Their food, them in the bathroom, and their money.
Yeah. Well, go ahead. So what happened?
The runner said crazy things happen right before something great is about to occur. So maybe I needed that to get all the nerves and adrenaline out. And what's more amazing is how well she did. She recorded a personal best. It was her first personal best time in over 6 years. At the last Summer Olympics in Tokyo, she won a gold and bronze medal as part of the team relay events, but didn't qualify for the individual races. So she says, I remember being so heartbroken. I'd rather have gotten 5th or 6th place, but it's certainly a learning lesson. And she said, coming into this race, she told herself she did not want to feel that feeling again.
Wow.
So are we going to see her at the Olympics? Did she
gonna
qualify?
be there. Yep.
Nice.
She's gonna
All
be
that
running.
anxiety just like fueled her. That's what it was, probably.
Yes, producer Heather.
It's funny, she ran her fastest running out of a bathroom. I usually run my fastest when I'm running into a bathroom.
I know
That's a very good
I know
point.
that's right.
Yeah. Kenny, what else do you have?
The Singapore company KID has just raised $45 million to create a system that will make online games safer and more private, especially for kids and teens.
Oh, good. It's only taken, 20 years? They started putting games on the internet?
Well, the thing is that this is a cross-platform situation. So depending on the game publisher, they can all sign up for this KID system and then have these capabilities that will make the games more safe and private, especially for kids.
Good. Anything we can do. This internet, not to sound 1,000 years old, but I have kids now, so I think about this stuff. The way that chat rooms And people who you don't want talking to your kids can find your kids now just through these apps.
Yep.
And we've talked to our friend Jackie, who works up in Boston,
Right.
and she's with the Boston Police Department. It's just unbelievable the weird, clever ways that creepy people can get to our kids. And video games is certainly one of them. So anything they can do to work backwards on that, great. I'm all for it.
Some people will break into your home, others will break into your life when it comes, and they'll use the internet and social platforms as a door to use it.
Yeah, it's the reality of our world. So good to hear, Kenny.
Yeah, and this platform hopefully will prevent that kind of thing from happening, especially those chat functions that you mentioned earlier.
Excellent. Kenny, what else you have?
Photographers are claiming that Meta, owner of Facebook and Instagram, is labeling photos as made with AI even when they're not.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Because there's so much confusion about what's AI, what isn't. How do they decipher and determine like what is AI and what isn't? So now people who are doing this great work, nope, that elephant's too clear. AI.
You've gotten in trouble at work or at home, and then you try your best to like not get in trouble again, so you overcorrect.
Yeah.
It's like that. They're like overcorrected. You know?
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah, so Meta announced back in February that it would begin to label posts as AI generated if it detected that an image had been manipulated in a third-party software like Adobe, but it appears that even basic editing functions from Adobe Photoshop are triggering this label to be generated.
That's so sad because you've got these great photographers who have taken years to perfect their craft and edit their photos and develop them, and now it's like, oh, well, no, it's not your work, and then you got to correct it. Well, no, that was actually my work.
I did that.
So annoying. And what's ironic about it is that Instagram was a photo app first, so it's like now it's messing with what originally built it up.
Yeah, there's one story from a photographer who was the official White House photographer in both the Ronald Reagan and Barack Obama administrations, and he was posting a photo that he took of the 1984 NBA Finals, and he didn't do anything to it except I guess Adobe, in order to export it, he had to, quote, flatten the image. So that's all he did, but that was tagged as AI. And then, but it gets a little stranger because there was a cosplayer, someone dressed in cosplay, posted a photo. She claims that it wasn't edited at all, and that photo was tagged as AI. And she posted, along with this photo, my cosplay made with the physical labor of my own hands is being labeled as AI content on Instagram with no way to correct the tag.
Everyone needs to get off of social media. It's unbelievable.
It's so frustrating for artists.
What else do you have?
There's a 12-year-old from Rhode Island who's being hailed as a hero after his actions on a school field trip. His name is Alex, and he was with classmates at Spring Lake Beach, their annual trip to the beach every year. Alex was on the beach and reported seeing a classmate struggling to keep his head above water. He said, I was just thinking I got to help him. Went into the water. He got to his classmate. His classmate apparently clung to him and actually dunked him underwater.
Oh, man.
So there was a scary situation, but he was able to regain his composure, grabbed him by the shoulders, treaded water until lifeguards were able to arrive and bring everybody safely back to shore. Interestingly enough, Alex never told his parents about this whole ordeal when he got home from school that day. It wasn't until a day later that school officials contacted them to let them know about her son's heroics. And it turns out both of his parents are full-time EMT firefighters.
Wow.
So they are immensely proud, but maybe that's why he didn't tell them, because his parents save people's lives every day.
Just another day in the neighborhood.
Exactly.
And you know his parents asked him when he got home from that trip, how was the trip? Did you have a good time? It was good.
It was fine.
It was fine. Like, come on, man.
Yeah. Josh, who was a lifeguard at one point, you've told me you have to get trained that when you go rescue someone, you don't get pulled under, right? Because that's the natural instinct.
Yep, a lot of people just grab onto you because they're panicking, and you'll start to sink with them.
Yeah, but he knew what to do, obviously.
Yeah,
That's
he
awesome.
knew.
Very impressive. Kenny, what else is happening in the world today?
A 17-year-old fashion student in China did so well in a math contest that she beat artificial intelligence.
Oh, that's good.
We still have a chance.
Hey, score one for the humans.
Not only that, she also beat students from prestigious universities like MIT, Stanford, and Princeton. She even beat her old math teacher in
Wow.
this same contest. And I think what makes this most impressive is that Jing Pang, this is the student in question, she's a student at a vocational school studying fashion design.
Wow.
So it's just very unlikely that a student from a vocational school would be so great at math and do so well in this competition because these vocational schools in China aren't known for their academic excellence.
Hey, she got to get those measurements right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You ever try to get like the little tick in between a quarter of an inch?
Have I?
Yeah.
Yep, sure
On
I
a tape
have.
measure? Yeah. Not easy.
You have
Got to
to
know
do
that stuff.
Now, she has become a celebrity in China after this accomplishment, so much so that fans have gone as far as to visit her parents' home with gifts of money and alcohol to show their support. And they even have local shopping malls hanging pictures of Xi Jinping because they're so impressed with her accomplishment.
Hey, that's awesome. We've got this app that I think is either out now or coming out called Math Notes, where it just does any complicated equation for you.
Yeah.
It's like, the new and improved calculator. And just simple division, simple long division, and multiplication. It's amazing how many students are falling behind on that. So that's good to hear.
What you don't know is that it's her working in the background. Yeah.
Could be.
Taking care of it.
Yeah, you never know. Kenny, thank you for keeping us somewhat informed.
That's what's happening.
Every single Thursday, and I'm mentioning this today so you can get ahead of it. I don't want you to miss it tomorrow. We send out a newsletter on behalf of the show. And we do not want to waste your time with this newsletter. Everyone on the show contributes to it. They share something that we think you're going to like. And I'll give you an example. So for this next newsletter that's coming out tomorrow, I'm going to share my whole technique for making coffee. Jabo knows. She's been over our house and people have the coffee. I'm not doing anything special. I'm just following the directions.
Good, man.
But I'm going to include all the gear that I use, the recipe book that I use. Again, you don't have to be some scientist to be able to do this. If you can follow a direction, you will make the best coffee you have in your house for just a little bit of money. And I'm going to show you what I use every day and what gets all the feedback from the Jabos of the world and our friends who come over and always ask me and sort of heavily hint.
It is great coffee.
They look at my little coffee area and I know what that means. Get making it.
Hey, get to work, sir.
Jabo, what are you sharing this week on the newsletter that people can find?
If you're needing something to help you alleviate headaches or maybe even freshen up your stank breath, don't act like your breath don't stink, because my breath stinks sometimes. Or maybe something to help you release those clogged sinuses. I included something in the newsletter that can help you do that.
Well, tell me right now. I want to know.
No. It's in the newsletter. You got to sign up for it.
All right, fine. So it's all at thetjshow.com. That's how you get there. It's like one of the first things that pops up. Oh, also, didn't you give out some of our TJ Show lip balm to some of the people who signed up? It's like they're picking people at random.
Sure did.
Oh, nice. Love it. So that's another little bonus here. Kenny, what are you including on the next newsletter?
Well, I've been spending a lot of time with my girlfriend Allison's family, and they play this game. It's not a board game. It's a card
Boring game? No, sorry. I couldn't help myself.
Oh, it's far from boring, TJ. If you have a group of 4 or more, this is the game you have to pull out at a party.
Do you like playing games at parties?
Yeah, I think it creates great conversation, and also goes to show you who that person is. If they're competitive, if they're a sore loser, what their temperament is like. Yes, I do. It's very telling of people.
Yeah, there's a group of people that we occasionally have dinner with. It's like a big dinner party. And in a recent one, they said, all right, it's game time. Whoever was hosting pulled out a game. And I was just like, oh, are you I got to play a game now? I just want to hang out. I don't want to think about games. And so during this game, it got people to start revealing things about them. And someone admitted that they have a habit of going through people's medicine cabinet. And we were all like, well, wait a minute. We've been having these dinner parties at each other's houses. Did you go through our medicine cabinet? And she was like, well, no. I mean, it wasn't anyone here. It's like, sure it
she had
wasn't.
to backtrack.
Yeah, it was. But so I guess that was kind of fun and weird.
I remember one time TJ invited my husband Archie and I to dinner, and my husband Archie was like, oh, let's play Two Truths and a Lie. And TJ looked at me and I looked at him, and I know TJ doesn't like games, but you liked it. And then when you invited us over for dinner, we played Two Truths and a Lie, and you liked it.
That's because my wife Jess does that kind of stuff. Like, her family's fun. Mine just stares at each other while we eat dinner.
Well,
so
hey, we make you more fun.
And I will say, once I get into the game, I do like it. But, like they've tried to spring Yahtzee on me, and I go, I just don't want to play Yahtzee. I'm sorry. Like, I don't want to deal with the cup and the dice. Like, just stop. But fine, Kenny.
This isn't Yahtzee.
Okay, great. It's the best game ever, and you'll see that on our newsletter if you sign up at thetjshow.com. Also, keep in mind, you may only be catching a very tiny portion of our show every day. And so, like right now, this is our last segment of the day, and we'll be back again tomorrow. I can't wait for that. But if you want to hear most of what you missed, just search for The TJ Show wherever you listen to podcasts. We'd love to have you here and there. We're so happy that you turned your radio on today.